This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. At least 226 people in Wisconsin have come down with whooping cough. Public health officials tell the Journal-Sentinel that's a big increase over last year. Most infections have been in teenagers, but 9 cases are in babies less than a year old. A judge in Sturgeon Bay is dismissing a challenge to the way Wisconsin handles absentee ballot requests. The lawsuit objected to envelopes approved by the Wisconsin Elections Commission last year. The suit also sought to require written statements along with online absentee ballot requests. The ruling seen as a win for voting access. Wisconsin Democrats are urging primary voters to vote no on 2 proposed constitutional amendments on August 13th. They'd prevent the governor from allocating federal money for the state without approval from lawmakers. Democrats say the questions are intentionally confusing, and the amendment would slow down help in an emergency.
Critical federal emergency funds could get stuck in gridlock in Madison rather than reaching first responders and the communities that are at risk.
State Party Chair Ben Wickler. Governor Evers says it would have been bad during the pandemic.
The Republicans took a 300-day vacation during the pandemic, didn't come into session. So what would I have done during that time? Nothing. I could not have responded with the money that was there.
The fall primary is August 13th. Wisconsin's coastal communities are getting a funding boost. About $1.3 million in grants are going to areas along the Great Lakes. In Gibraltar, the money will go to recreation trails, which will also protect local water and wildlife.
If the swamps aren't, protected and maintained properly, that's the filters of the earth before the water gets out to the lake. So I think it's pretty important we protect those filters.
Steve Sones is the Gibraltar town chairman. Wisconsin's Education Department is releasing its youth mental health data update today. Many kids say they're anxious or nervous, and it got worse during the pandemic. State Superintendent Jill Underly says schools should offer more mental health services. Scientists in Wisconsin are testing a possible new treatment for Parkinson's disease. UW-Madison doctors say brain grafts in monkeys have shown promising results. They say motor skills improved and symptoms of anxiety and depression were reduced. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WXCO News, I'm Brittany Merlot. The Marathon County Sheriff's Office has identified the 63-year-old man killed in the July 25th accident in Ringgold. Keith C. Johnson passed away in the single-vehicle car crash around 11 a.m. near the intersection of Highway 29 and Silk Road. No other information is being released at this time. And a hunting dog dies after being attacked by wolves in Price County. A 7-year-old plot hound hunting in the town of Spirit died on Friday. This is the 5th wolf depredation in Wisconsin this year. Gray wolves are listed as endangered species in the lower 48 after a federal court ruling on February 10th of 2022. There is no other information available about this incident, but updates will be provided when they become available. The DNR says that dog owners should use caution in wolf-occupied areas. Wolf depredations on hunting dogs are most common during bear training and hunting season. People can report a wolf attack by calling 1-800-228-1368. It seemed like plans for a 36-bed youth recovery and wellness center near the town of Cashin were dead in the water after the county's Planning and Zoning Committee rejected their permit application and the town passed a resolution against building the center months before. But now, the county's Board of Adjustment unanimously approved the permit with conditions, breathing new life into a project that the Tribal Council CEO says will help troubled youth across the Northwoods, whether they belong to a tribal community or not. Now, they're in a race against the clock to get the project built, with the grant funding that they received expiring in December of 2025. Cashin's town board chairwoman had different feelings about the ruling, saying that the town still has some concerns about the facility that they feel were not addressed the right way, including security and how remote the facility would be. The town will be having a special board meeting to discuss the next steps, with tribal officials being invited. A date for that has not been set yet. 2 meteor showers are expected to peak and light up the night sky this week. The Southern Delta Aquarids were most active last night through early this morning and could have housed up to 25 meteors per hour. Tonight, the minor shower, Alpha Capricornids, is known for its bright fireballs and could also bring 5 meteors per hour to the celestial party. Meteor showers are the debris left by comets and asteroids orbiting the sun that Earth encounters annually at some point during its orbital path. Wednesday night is the best time to view both showers at the same time, as the moon wanes and loses about 8% illumination each night. Sitting at just 16%, to view the meteor showers, it's best to look with your eyes only and not use any equipment such as binoculars or a telescope. This is because you'll want a clear view of the entire sky. Remember to go somewhere dark and be patient. Sit outside for at least 10 to 15 minutes to let your eyes adjust to the dark. The 156th Annual Wisconsin Valley Fair at Marathon Park in Wausau is this week. On Monday, crews put the finishing touches on the grandstand, food vendors, and exhibition areas. And when it comes to the grandstand, Jason Entertainment Group, based out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, takes the task on. Coming up here for the last 50 years now and helping, it's all hands on deck. With a new hydraulic stage, less manpower is needed. Adjacent Entertainment Group is also in charge of talent acquisition for the fair. And once the performers arrive, the look of the stage set may change. Night Ranger is set to perform tonight, with Low Cash taking the stage tomorrow, followed by Gabby Barrett on Thursday. And in West Allis, the Wisconsin State Fair is just around the corner as carnival rides are set up, rigorous ride inspections follow. 10 state inspectors scrutinize the electrical and mechanical components this week, double-checking things that could hurt riders. The fair starts on August 1st and runs through August 11th. And that's what you need to know. I'm Brittany Merlot for WXCO.
The Brewers make a trade. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports Baseball. Trade deadline coming up tonight, and the Brewers sending outfielder Joey Weimer and pitcher Jacob Junis to the Reds for right-hander Frankie Montas. 9 years in the big leagues, 19 starts this year for Cincinnati, an ERA that started out at 3.56 but has risen into the fives. Meanwhile, just as the crew gets back Devin Williams as the closer, Trevor McGill goes on the 15-day IR. Manager Pat Murphy.
Breaking news. Trevor McGill on the IL. Lower back. He's been dealing with it for about 5 days. He'll get an MRI this afternoon. That's the way the cookie crumbles, man.
Brewers last night with a nice 8-3 win at home over the Braves. Home runs by Hoskins, Adames, Churio. NFL Packers back on the practice field today in Green Bay. The Badgers football team begins training camp for the next 2 weeks at UW-Platteville.
Well, I think it's first and foremost, it's about getting away to really get them to get to know each other and a lot of things even a little deeper.
That's Badgers head coach Luke Fickell. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. There's nothing like a little body shaming between dudes. Even though he was just trying to help, Matt Damon told Josh Hartnett not to put on extra weight for the film Oppenheimer because he would never be able to take it off since he's over 40. It was at that point Hartnett told Damon he had already added the 30 pounds for the role. Damon is no stranger to putting on weight for a role, or at least that's what he says. The Academy Award-winning Oppenheimer had both Josh Hartnett and Fat Damon in the cast. Speaking of Hartnett, he was happy to get the opportunity to be in Oppenheimer. Hartnett addressed his showbiz break a few years ago where he turned down 2 Superman roles after he says his fame was getting exhausting and experienced fans showing up at his house and a man following him one time with a gun. It was for that reason he switched from heartthrob-type roles and focused on parts where he could disappear into the character. Well, I guess you could say the summer box office is no longer slumping. History was made this past weekend as Deadpool and Wolverine raked in $211 million at the gate domestically and $444 million worldwide. Just think if I had gone to see Deadpool as planned, you could have tacked on another $12. The third installment in the Deadpool franchise shattered a record for an R-rated movie opening. It's the 4th richest opening weekend for a superhero film in history and the biggest since Spider-Man No Way Home, which took in a ridiculous $260 million opening weekend with a more tame rating. Another milestone was achieved when last weekend's take pushed Marvel's Cinematic Universe movies past the $30 billion mark in worldwide ticket sales, making it the top-grossing franchise in history, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Rounding out the top 5 were Twisters in week number 2 with a $36 million haul. Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2 has shown incredible staying power, coming in 4th, and surprise hit Longlegs came in 5th. A good actor or actress will do anything to get the shot. In the case of Jennifer Aniston, that means getting splashed with oil like she did while shooting a scene for an episode of the new season of The Morning Show. Few details were given by the New York Post, which posted photos of her covered in black oil. The Morning Show received several Emmy nominations, including for Best Drama Series and Lead Actress for both Aniston and her co-star Reese Witherspoon. The Morning Show is in its 4th season and airs on Apple TV. Gwyneth Paltrow has lots to say, and it's all important, according to Gwyneth Paltrow. On social media, the Oscar winner said she was confused about Robert Downey's announcement at Comic-Con last week that he will return to the Marvel franchise in The Avengers to play Dr. Doom. Not sure what's so confusing about that. Paltrow played Marvel character Pepper Potts, who was Downey's love interest in Iron Man. She could just be jealous he's seeing other fictional characters. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We have a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today, tonight, and again tomorrow. Otherwise, it's going to be partly cloudy, warm, and humid. Our high in the mid to upper 80s today, upper 80s tomorrow with a heat index 90 to 95 or better each day. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 69.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com.